Hello, in this video we will cover how to use your PN3 with NAWO Live software. Perception Neuron 3 is an inertial-based motion capture system, meaning that it uses sensors worn on the body to record the movement of the subject. The sensors are inertial-based, meaning that the sensors themselves are recording the data and therefore no cameras are necessary. The sensors are worn using a strap system that can be placed on top of clothing. The sensors are non-invasive and present no risk to the wearer. NAWO Live is a software for the quantification of musculoskeletal disorder risk factors, allowing the objectification and reliability of ergonomic analyses. NAWO Live quantifies the MSD risk factors based on the motion capture data obtained from the PN3 and uses ergonomic reference methods to quantify the global risk over time. A detailed explanation of the ergonomic methods included in NAWO Live software is available on nawosolution.com. First, we will cover what comes in your PN3 kit. You have your sensors and their 3 modular charging docks. You also have your Access Studio license dongle. You have your PN3 transceiver, which has a range of 4 meters. You will have 3 USB-C to USB cables for charging the charging docks. And you will have a USB-C to USB converter for your transceiver. You will also have a bag containing all the straps needed to wear your PN3 kit. The PN3 kit will also come with 1 set of medium-sized gloves that you can use to wear the hand sensors, instead of using straps for the hands. Start by installing the Access Studio and NAWO Live software onto your tablet, and activate both softwares using the provided license keys. Make sure that your tablet has USB ports available for the Access Studio license dongle and the PN3 transceiver. We recommend having a tablet or laptop with an i5 processor, 8GB of RAM, and 256 SSD. Next, we will calibrate the sensors. Start by connecting the sensors to the software. It is best to perform these calibration steps with the sensors in the middle of the performance space. Once the sensors are connected, open the device details panel so we can get an overview of how the sensors are looking. Ideally, you want the signal quality to be above 95%. If the signal quality is below 95%, you can switch to a different frequency by going to Main Menu, Frequency Settings. Access Studio has 5 frequencies available. You can also switch frequencies by double-clicking the red button on the sensors and the transceiver. Now we will perform a magnetic calibration on the sensors to make sure that they are at a good baseline before we start recording. Go to Main Menu, Magnetic Calibration. Rotate the charging dock in a figure 8 motion. Every few rotations, flip it 180 degrees. Keep repeating this process until the loading bar is full. Once the loading bar is full, wait for the results of your magnetic calibration. Once the magnetic calibration is complete, then we will run a steady calibration. Go to Main Menu, Steady Calibration, and click Start. Wait for the calibration to complete. Make sure that the sensors are on a flat and steady surface. It is important that the sensors do not move during the steady calibration. Once the steady calibration is complete, it is time to suit up your subject. Here you can see the proper strap placement. Make sure that the straps are not placed on top of loose clothing. You want your subject to be wearing form-fitted clothing. It is really important that the straps are properly secured and do not move while your subject is performing. After the straps are on, place the sensors on the straps. Connect the sensors to the software. Then select the appropriate body size profile. You can choose one of our templates based on your subject's height in centimeters, or you can create a custom template following our measurement guide. If you are creating your own measurements, remember to measure from rotation point to rotation point. Then we will perform the posture calibration. Click on the blue posture calibration button or the gray calibrate for all button and begin the posture calibration. It is important that your subject move as little as possible in between poses. You can perform the posture calibration with or without the W pose. The W pose is a walking pose, so you will need some space to complete it, but it will add an extra level of protection against magnetic interference. If you cannot use the W pose, simply disable it and use the S pose instead. Once the posture calibration is complete, now we will set up the broadcasting settings so that we can stream Access Studio data into NAWO Live. Go to Main Menu, Settings, BVH Broadcasting. Make sure to enable BVH Capture when your subject is wearing the suit. If you are broadcasting recorded data, use BVH Edit. Make sure that the skeleton is set to Access Legacy, that displacement is turned on, and that the IP address is set to your local IP, and the port is set to 7001. Then click OK. Open NAWO Live and create a new project. When starting live mode, you have to choose the method to use for the ergonomic evaluation. The RULA method, which stands for Rapid Upper Limb Assessment, allows you to evaluate the risk at the upper body level based on the movement performed by the operator. The final score indicates the global postural risk of the workstation and scores between 1 and 7. REBA, which stands for Rapid Entire Body Assessment, allows you to evaluate the entire body. The final score indicates the global postural risk of the workstation and ranges between 1 and 15. If you go into Live, your Access Studio data should automatically be broadcast onto the NAWO avatar. You can use the webcam on your tablet to record live footage of your subject at the same time that NAWO Live is recording the avatar data from Access Studio. You can name your take as well as add a description. For best results, we recommend recording each cycle 3 times. This gives the subject time to familiarize themselves with the system so that it won't impact their movement. The colors of each body part on the avatar indicate the level of risk for each body part according to the selected assessment method. The left and right body parts are evaluated separately. If you expand the menu, you can see a breakdown of your RULA or REBA score for each individual body part on every frame. After recording the data, you can open a take to review the data. You can switch between analyzing the same data using RULA or REBA method. You can consult the graph to see the individual RULA or REBA score for each frame. If you click on the plus sign, this will take you to where you can configure a technical action to track the effect of a force or load on a movement cycle. You can do so using RULA, REBA, or NIOSH method. The NIOSH equation was designed by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health to enable you to determine the recommended weight limit and the lifting index. The equation takes into account several factors that contribute to the risk of injury during manual handling. It is necessary to indicate the load handled, the frequency of the action, the total duration the action is performed in a day, and the type of grip. After you create the technical action, you could slide it across the timeline and you could also adjust the length. If you go to the Statistics menu, you can get an MSD breakdown of your recorded capture. You can click on different parts of the body on the map to see a breakdown of each section. You have the mean score of the whole cycle, the mean overall score on each body part, as well as the percentage of time spent at each motion interval, defined by the method chosen for the analysis. You will also be able to see how much time each body part spent at a specific angle. The percentage of time for each movement zone can give an indication of how critical a movement is over time. You can scroll through the timeline to view the score on each frame and the breakdown for each body part. If you have a NIOSH technical action, you can also click on Load Port to analyze the data. Overall, this data provides a global risk assessment for posture and handling tasks. When you are ready to export your file, click on the Export option in the Statistics menu. This will export your project as an Excel sheet. You can refer to the documentation provided with your purchase of the NAWO Live software for an explanation on how to read the report. The report will export based on whatever method is currently selected. So if you're in RULA, it will export RULA. If you have REBA selected, it will export REBA. And if you have a NIOSH technical action created, it will also export NIOSH. And that's it for this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.